Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are checking out the giant mouse ace Clyde. Clyde? Why is he here? No, we said no. Yeah, screw you too, Clyde. I don't like the dude. Why are we doing it? We said just the knife bit. I'm not reading the... Clyde likes to start his day by preparing a fresh breakfast of... Yeah, that's what I thought. After preparing a fresh breakfast, Clyde likes to sit back, relax, and meditate on the day's activities to come. Being Tuesday, it's actually the only day of the week that Clyde checks his mail. And it looks like Clyde's got a bill today. Like all responsible adults, he pays his bills. Wait, what? Oh, on what he deems fair terms and conditions. Way to be, Clyde. Class act. He then takes the remainder of his money and visits the local establishments looking for the latest and greatest deal and bargain. Because Clyde is a frugal man, he's always on the look. Ah, it sucks to suck, Clyde. Looks like you can't buy your beer. Can he do that? He can't. And then, alright. After that, Clyde likes to meet with his personal trainer and certified attack dog, Sybil. Wait, what? What are we doing? God, if you can take an attack dog, you can take anybody? Really? Guys, he's unstable. Can we just get out of here? Ooh. Can we end on that? Let's end on that. Knife bit now? Thanks. How's it going, guys? And welcome back. Today we are looking at the giant mouse ace Clyde. Now this was an interesting knife that I've been waiting to come out, and they really inspired the intro of this video because Giant Mouse did a really good job of drumming up the character of this knife pre-release and with the inevitable delayed release. They just had a lot of fun poking at the character Clyde. They even had a little like make a meme contest about Clyde. So if you didn't follow them on Instagram, go give them a follow and go back and read some of those. Some of those were pretty funny. And yeah, so that led to the the intro of it. Just an interesting character. And I want to let you guys know that there at the end, that was just me and my dog goofing around. That's Mabel. I call her Mabers. She's a little sweetheart. She's my best friend. We like to go outside and blow some steam off every once in a while, but most of the time she's just sitting around being lazy and yeah, so no harm to me or the dog. That was just us goofing. But with that aside, let's talk about this knife. Real quick, I do want to say a big thank you to St. Nick's Knives. I bought this from them. I wanted to try something different than your normal knife retailer because some of my experiences have been meh lately. So I reached out to them, asked them if they were going to get it. They said yes. And then I bugged them weekly. And eventually they just said, you know what, we'll hold one for you. And even if we sell out, we'll have one put to the side for you. No like pre-order or anything. So great folks over at St. Nick Knives. So if you get a chance, go support them and check them out. Alright, with that getting started, this is just going to be initial thoughts and impressions. I've had this knife for a tick over 24 hours. And yeah, we're going to get my thoughts. First things, as always, we're going to do a spec check and then get started. Here's your spec check, guys. All right, now that we got our spec check out of the way, let's drop in our size comparison snapshot. That's going to give you an idea of how big the knife is. A little bit smaller than our Pair 3 and a little bit bigger than our Chaparral Lightweight. And for me personally, that's kind of my sweet spot. That's where I like my knives. Most of my knives in my collection fall in that. So really digging the size of this knife. Really dig how it rides in the pocket and fits in the hand. But we're going to go over all that. So let's just take a step back and look at this knife, shall we? First things first, looking at the design. I really like this kind of upswept blade. Not normally my jam, but I kind of dig it on this design, kind of a Japanese Persian style. And then you have this beautiful micarta handle. I really like the color. I'm glad that it's this green. I think that accents these orange accents very well. You do have a single thumb stud, so I hate to do the cliche sorry lefties, but this is only going to be a right-hand model. And from what I can tell, there is no plans for a left-handed model. So if you guys want to thumbs down this video now, feel free. But there you go, and touches on the accent here, the orange on the thumb stud. I like that. I like that nice pop of color. I like that it has a lanyard loop. I think I'm in the minority when it comes to lanyard loops. I like the option personally, but I can understand why it's not for everybody. Flipping it around, we have a deep carry clip. Now this clip is pretty good in the pocket, holds nicely. Not I said deep carry, but what I meant is a wire clip, because it's not super deep carry. You do still have a little bit poking out there. Just, you know, it's not going to be super incognito because you got that pop of orange, but I like it. It works for me. Now, with that aside, I did take the clip off for a little bit just so that this micarta could darken up evenly with the grungy hands of myself. And one thing I will say is the clip's not bad in hand. You know, it sits really where I hold it naturally. It sits in that little gap. So that's not really causing any issues. But when I took this clip off, this thing became magic in hand, the way it felt in my hand. So that would be something I would tell you guys to consider. I'm actually 60-40 on whether I'm going to take the clip off. 60% of me wants to leave it on, but there's a 40% chance that I'm going to just take this clip off and leave it off. So there you go. You got your logo on the back, LMAX steel, which is an interesting choice, and I can't wait to see what they've done on this. I know Sean from Geared Towards Gear is going to be sending his out to be tested by the steel guys, and you know, no matter how you fall on that whole steel testing thing, my personal opinion is knowledge is power, and the more you know, I think it's better overall for the community and the consumer. So they were targeting 60 HRC on these, and they say they do a cryo treatment. So really curious to see how these come back. Really interested in the results. If it's done as well as the rest of the knife, in my opinion, I think everything's going to be okay. So flipping it around, you can see it is a liner lock. Watching Sean's video over at Geared Towards Gear, I was a little worried. I saw this jimping here on the liner, and I thought, you know what, that's going to do it. That's going to be the thing that's going to bug me. It's going to sit on my hand and be a little bit of a hot spot, but it's not. I'll get really close on it for you. You can see this really fine, just almost rounded jimping, and it doesn't cause any issues. For me personally, I can see if you have an issue, you know, okay, that's an issue you have. But for me personally, at this moment in time, I'm not having an issue with that. So that I'm okay with. Lockup is good. Deployment is, yeah, I dig the deployment. There is a little bit of an asterisk here. If you are one of the, you know, fat-fingered folk tribe, you might have an issue getting in here. This is a little bit of a tight, you know, circle that's going on in here. So if you have a fat finger, you might have a problem getting back in there, and ooh, failed it. It's performance anxiety. It's perfectly natural, and we all have it. Let's flip this again. There we go. So it does deploy out really good. Now drop down, you know, it's not dropping down. It's not a shake and bake quite yet. It still needs a little bit of work. So you will tune that in a little bit later, but just initial impressions, there you go. Centering came good. Sharpness came good. I've done some cutting tasks, cucumbers, and some packages. It is not a super slicer, but it does pretty good. It's not a Chaparral lightweight, but it does perform nicely. So let's see, now that we've got it over there, let's open it back up and take a look at it this way one more time. One thing I do want to note is that they have done a good job of chamfering these edges off. Sean, when I watched his video, I'm going to reference his video a lot because I think I was the first one to watch his video when it came up. I was waiting for that thing to come up. He pointed out that they rounded these off nicely on the edges. And yeah, I agree. I was kind of worried about that. And then when he said it in his video, kind of breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief. Actually, you know what? Just pause this video and go watch his video. I'll save you some time. His video is good if you didn't know. But moving on from there, is there anything that stands out on this knife that people, you know, should know about, or buyer beware, or any possible deal breakers? At this moment in time, no. I did say that about the thumb stud. You know, if you've got big fingers, you might have a problem getting down in there. There is one little spot that people might have an issue with, and I'm going to show that off really quickly. Personally, I don't, and just by playing with it, I think it's fine. Now, if you see right here behind the liner, that's just straight micarta. That is some of the thinnest micarta I've seen on a knife. Let's get it to focus. Now, there is going to be some flex there. It is, like I said, really thin, so when the liner lock is engaged, there's no reinforcement there. I did try to put it under quite a bit of pressure with my fingers, and no cracking, no deformation or anything like that. But I could see some folks, you know, saying, oh, there's a weak spot right there. So there you go. There's your weak spot. You know, then when you've got the liner, when you've got it closed, the liner is reinforcing it, and you should have nothing to worry about. Oh, did I mention the crown spine yet? I don't know. It's like my second or third take. I'm a sucker for a crown spine. I'm a sucker for micarta, and I'm a sucker for orange. So I'm their demographic. This knife is targeted towards me. And disclaimer at this point in the video, I am kind of in the honeymoon phase, and I was really excited for this knife. But I don't have any big gripes with it. I think it was done pretty dang well. At least my example was. So I think overall, if you're considering buying this knife, at this time, if all the examples are like this, I don't think you would have any regrets if this is something that stands out to you. So initial thoughts and impressions are, it's a good buy for me. I'm happy with it, and can't wait to see what else they come out with, their next designs. I know they've been teasing another one. So if you guys have any questions or comments down below, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them, and as time goes on and I learn more about the knife or any potential issues, I'll let you guys know. So there it is, guys. Initial thoughts and impressions on the Ace Clyde. Let me know what you guys think. As always, have a good one. We'll see you next time. Later.